Peace. Y'all come in the name of the Lord Supreme, Wise Mind of Law. Nation of Gods and Earth, 5%. Today I wanted to touch base on understanding your knowledge. First and foremost, what I want to address is, the way our culture functions and operates. First and foremost, I'm going to take it through the degree, and then I'm going to touch base and bring it full circle. The understanding the knowledge degree in the 1 to 40 says, to make devil, what must one do first? To make devil, one must be engrafted from the original. So, why did I touch base on that? Because I see and understand that there's a lot of things in this nation that goes on that doesn't get examined, and some people get easy passes. And in this nation, we don't allow easy passes because we examine everything with a microscope and a telescope, and we go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and we wrinkle, and all the wrinkles that we have, we iron them all out. So what am I saying? When you come into this nation, first and foremost, what needs to be understood is that, right, you have to unlearn what you have once learned in your lifetime. That means that if you was a Christian, if you was a Muslim, if you was a Buddhist, you have to unlearn all those teachings. Now, I'm not saying every teaching, because some of those teachings have valuable principles to them, and you can apply them. However, when it comes to the nation of gods and earth, you have to unlearn that, because of the simple fact that it's not going to be of no benefit to you, to your growth and development. It's not going to be conducive either. So what I'm saying to a lot of individuals is that people that's coming in His name are grafting, mixing, diluting, and tampering with these teachings. And the way that they are already doing it is they're taking teachings that they had once learned and are applying it to what they're learning now, meaning 120. When you come into the idea of being God, you cannot mix, dilute, and temper with these teachings. These lessons are to help further your education and to be able to help solidify your foundation of what you are supposed to be and what is your purpose and what's your goal and accomplishment. Our goal in the nation of gods and earth is to teach all human kingdoms of the planet Earth. That doesn't mean that we go looking for people, because light is seen and sound is heard. So we're seen faster than we're heard. Allah is seen and heard everywhere. So when I say that you have to unlearn what you've learned, you have to throw all that in the garbage, what you was once taught, because that could hinder your growth and development in this nation. Secondly, with these names, one thing for sure that people have to understand when they come into this nation is that you take your name from supreme mathematics and alphabet and the lessons and draw it up on how you see it. An attribute is a tribute to one's own self. That means through the experiences that you went through, what you've learned, and how it applies to you. You see what I'm saying? And one thing for sure that people got to understand is that when you come in this name of Allah, please do not use other names that are not conducive, that's not relevant to this culture. You see what I'm saying? Like Egypt names and Greek names and West African names, because those civilizations back then used those names to represent who they were. Our culture is representation of who we are. You see what I'm saying? My name is Lord Supreme, Wise Mind of Law. That all comes from my mathematics and my alphabet. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm taking an East African name and applying it to my culture, because it's not going to fit for this culture. Because you're going to get approached by gods and earths, and they're going to ask you, how do you see your name? Or how do you see this culture? You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you are in the process of learning this way of life, learn it the right way. Make sure you understand the foundation that is being laid for you and laid so that way you can solidify this knowledge into your mind and be able to understand the science of everything in life and what we teach. You can't go around teaching somebody with a Greek name. You can't go around teaching somebody with a West African name and it has no relevance to this culture. Because what's going to end up happening is when you end up teaching, the people that you are educating or enlightening are going to take on them same names. They're going to be going into West African books and other books, and they're going to be taking names that don't have no relevancy to this culture. You know, holy is something that's not been mixed, diluted, and tampered with in any form. But we are not holy, we are righteous. You see what I'm saying? So we are right and just means true. And we speak the truth. So what I'm saying to you is that when you understand this knowledge, do not begin to grab from the original element in which something was in already. These teachings are in its original form and element. Do not take these teachings and start grafting, start making up your own teachings, because at the end of the day, you're going to get checked. You're going to get checked. And like I said, we examine with the microscope and the telescope and with the fine-tooth comb. We examine all things. We put everything on a petri dish to make sure it is what it is. You have to be a doctor. You have to examine all that desire to marry. And this is your law. You know, a law is an order. An order is a command, and a command must be given out and followed promptly. So, like I said, when you come into this nation with the determined idea to learn and to understand who you are. And that's understanding the knowledge itself. Because that's what a culture is all about. A culture is about morals, ethics, standards, values, and virtues. Customs, skills, and traditions. You know, a culture is represented by a language. It's represented by signs and symbols. Our culture, we have a universal flag of Islam. It has 22 points on the flag. Wisdom is all being born of culture once again. So don't try to come in this culture, try to tell lies, steal, and try to master people, because that's not going to happen, because you're going to get checked at the door. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I wanted to build on, because a lot of individuals come in this name of Allah and don't even know the teachings. You know, a lot of people think they're going to get this easy path because you can say peace God or peace earth or peace Asiatic. Nah, you don't know. Because once you come amongst the true and living, they're going to examine you and they're going to show and prove. And then they're going to ask you how you see it. I'm just letting you know, because at the end of the day, we all want for each other what we want for ourselves. Love, peace, and happiness. What will be your reward in regards to the destruction of the devil? Peace and happiness. I will give all that I have and all within my power to see the day which I live for. 379 years. To teach freedom, justice, equality, all human beings on the planet Earth. And our whole idea of our 120 is to teach. And if you're not teaching, then what are you doing? How are you reaching the people? And in what way, shape, form, or fashion are you reaching the people? So that's what I wanted to build on today. You know what I'm saying? To understand the knowledge degree in 1 to 40. Because a lot of people don't understand that degree because they think it's just a face value degree. No, you dig deeper within that degree to get an understanding about how these teachings are, what they're about, and how you're supposed to go about teaching. You know, there's ways to teach. And if you can't teach this to the babies where they understand it and make it simple and plain, then you're not teaching the right way. Your methodology of approach is all off. So that's what I wanted to add on with. I trust and will that this video build was very educational and enlightening. Learn who you are. Because once somebody learns themselves, they'll begin to understand the signs of everything in life. With that being said, love, peace, and happiness. Peace.